What's up YouTube, it's Onion Bomb here on Ascent Sports, and welcome back to more NFL season predictions for different NFL teams. Today we are doing the AFC West teams, being the Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, and Broncos. Of course, we just did the AFC South, and previously we did the AFC North. So if you don't watch those videos, make sure you check them out, either before or after this. And yeah, because after this we're going to be doing a Super Bowl and playoff one, and then after that it should be time for the actual regular season, which I'll have week by week game predictions for each game. So yeah, but that's the future. The present is this. I will be doing the AFC West record predictions for the AFC West teams. Before we do get started though, I have to give this disclaimer that this is all just my prediction and like my opinion, and it's just for fun. No need to get mad at this. It's just me predicting the games, trying to predict. Upsets happen every year, and like it's just sometimes hard to predict, and it's fun to predict some. So like I'm a moron sometimes, and so I might make the wrong call. So really what matters is how the teams actually perform in the regular season, actually do, and not what my predictions are. So yeah, just keep that in mind while you're watching this video. No need to get too upset, but if you do want to share your opinion, you can do that in the comments below. But yeah, let's get started with the AFC West. Alright, so I'm going to start with the reigning champs of this division, the Kansas City Chiefs, of course. Pat Mahomes, all that team, Tyreek Hill, they all, Travis Kelce, they all got to the AFC Championship, and if it weren't for the overtime rules, they may have beaten the Patriots. I believe they finished like 12-4, 11-5, something like that. Very good. And what do I have them going this year? Slight regression I do have, just not really, just cause of, I don't know, tougher schedule, be it whatever. I have them going 10-6, still good, but just not as good as last year, just by 2 wins. But yeah, I have them starting off 4-game winning streak at Jacksonville, at Oakland, then beating the Ravens, and at the Lions. All three of those, I believe they can all win those games. Probably the toughest one there is either the Ravens or the Jaguars, and yeah, I think they can still beat them. But then they're gonna take a loss to the Colts, and then a loss to the Houston Texans, and then they're going to get upset by the Broncos at the Broncos home field. So, gone a little bit of a 3-game losing streak, but they're going to, beat the Packers, but then they're going to lose to the Vikings. But then they're going to get back a little bit. They're going to beat the Titans, even at their home field. They're going to beat the Chargers, even at their home field. They're going to go in a bye week, beat the Raiders, again sweeping them. And they're even going to do what seems like the impossible sometimes. They're going to beat New England at New England. And they're going to beat the Broncos. But they are going to end the year with 2 losses at Chicago. Late in the year, they're going to lose that. And then they're going to lose to the Chargers, the final game of the season, possibly and probably for the division. So yeah, I have them splitting the wins and losses with the Broncos even, and the Chargers. But I have them sweeping the Raiders. For losses, I mean the Bears, good team, Colts, good team, even Texans, good team. And I think Vikings are a decent team. I think they're just going to lose that. Kind of reminds me of their Seattle loss last year. And of course, like the Chargers, good team too. And yeah, I just think the Broncos actually played them close both games, so I think they're going to lose one on the Broncos this year, just how last year they did. So yeah, that's how I think the Kansas City Chiefs is going to finish out the year 10-6. Pretty good. Probably playoffs, maybe playoffs. We'll have to see. But will it be the wild card or the division? Well, moving on to the next team, the other wild card team that went like 11-5, and or even like 11-5 or 12-4. I forget which one. It was somewhere in that way. I think the Chargers went 11-5, and then the Chiefs went 12-4. Or like they both went 11-5 and the Chargers went 12-4. No, because they split. So I don't know. It was something like that. I'm sorry, my memory's slipping. But the Chargers had a very good record for a wild card team, and they're still a pretty good team. And I actually have them going the same as they did last year, 11-5. And yes, the Chiefs are not. I don't think they're going to win the division this year. They're going to be close. It's going to be another battle between the Chiefs and the Chargers. And yeah, I think the Chargers are going to come out on top. But do I have a big upset here? Do I have the Broncos and the Raiders winning the division? We'll have to see when I get to that. But yeah, Los Angeles Chargers. I have them starting out real strong this year, even winning their first game against the Colts. That's actually not an easy game, but they do got home field. Them beating the Lions, beating the Texans, beating the Dolphins, and beating the Broncos. But then I do have them losing to the Steelers, and the Steelers are going to get, revenge from last year. It's kind of like a revenge game for them. They're going to lose to the Steelers. Then they're going to beat the Titans, but then they're going to lose to the Bears, but then they're going to beat the Packers, but then they are going to get upset at Oakland by the Raiders, and then they're going to lose to the Chiefs, and then they are going to go on a bye week, but they're going to come back and lose to the Broncos at their home field. So they started off good, got wonky, but they pick it back up and go on a 4-game winning streak to finish out the season. Beat the Jaguars, Vikings, Raiders, and Chiefs, splitting with each of their divisional opponents and finishing 11-5 on the season. So as of right now, they are winning the division. So I'll see the other two records, and we'll see if they win the division. But yeah, so looking like they definitely are going to make some sort of playoffs with the 11-5 record. So yeah, I just think the Chargers are a really good team. And I think it's going to be the same Chiefs and Chargers battle like it was last year. But I just think the Chargers are going to come on top this year. No particular reason, just Chargers, just good team. Nothing really more else to say. I just think the Chargers, still got player. Or they're having trouble with Melvin Gordon, but if they're anything like my favorite team, the Steelers, they're going to be fine with Austin Eckler, even though it's not going to be the same, of course, but they're still going to make do. Like, they're still, even though Melvin Gordon's really a good running back, he's not needed. Like, they still have players on defense and offense to, succeed. So, Chargers are still going to be good. Alright, so moving on to the Oakland Raiders. The Oakland Raiders, they got AB, they got all those first-round draft picks. What are those going to do right now? I don't think that's going to do too much, if anything at all right now. I think it's still in a rebuilding phase, and I have them 3-13. Maybe that's a bit low for all the good players they have. They drafted, those 3 first-round draft picks have AB. They made some moves, but I just couldn't give them too many wins against these teams that I already know that are good. Let's take a look. So I'm giving them a week 1 win against Denver. I think they're gonna beat Denver week 1. But then I like the Chiefs. I think they're gonna lose to the Chiefs. At Minnesota, I think they're gonna lose that. At at the Colts, I think they're losing that. And then against the Bears, I just think the Bears are such a more better team than them, so they're going to lose that. Then, the Packers. A lot of people are very hyped up about the Packers and think they're back. So, yeah, I think they're going to lose that. And then, I said, I'm not. I think the Texans are still slept on, so I can't give them a loss there. Maybe they'll beat the Lions, but even so, I gotta get the Lions some credit, so I'm giving them a loss there. I am giving them an upset against the Chargers. The Chargers are a really good team, and I'm giving them a win against the Bengals because I do believe they are maybe a little bit better than the Bengals, or they have what it takes to beat the Bengals. And at the Jets, I give them that a loss too, even though I guess they could win that too. And I just don't think they're gonna upset the Chiefs, so I'm giving them 2 losses there, getting swept by the Chiefs. And then, Titans, I think they're losing that. Jaguars, I think they're losing that. At the Chargers, I think they're losing that. Definitely not going to sweep the Chargers. I would give them 1 upset on that. I just don't think they're going to sweep the Broncos either, so I'm going to give them that. And that just turned out to be 13-3. Opposite of that, 3-13. So yeah, that's just how it kind of turned out. I just don't see anything better than that. Maybe the Lions, the Titans, the Jets, possibly the Jaguars, and maybe sweeping Denver, and that is 5 wins, and that would make it 8-8. So I don't see them going better than 8-8 though. I don't know. I'm sticking to my 13-3. I keep saying that. Oh, it's so weird. Why? I'm sticking to my 3-13, but I think it could be possible for them to go 8-8. But I just don't think they're going to be that good of a team yet. I know that good players, AB, Josh Jacobs, Clinton Farrell or something like that for the first round draft pick, and then the other, the safety, I forget his name, but that I just don't think that's gonna have impact right away. But I think maybe in a year or two, the Raiders, if they keep going like this, the Raiders might be something. But just right now, it's just gonna still be kind of low. So yeah. So as of right now, I have the Chargers winning the division. Will the Broncos win the division? No. I do have the Chargers winning the division. I have the Broncos going 6-10. So yes, a little bit disappointing for the Broncos and not that good. But yeah. It's another like that, with just what they're looking at their roster. They're just not the best team, and I think they have Drew Lock, Joe Flacco at quarterback. I don't even know what's going on with that. Who's gonna start or whatnot. But yeah, this is what I'm going on. Like I said, I'm giving them a loss early on to Oakland, week 1. Lost to Chicago. I am gonna have them upset the Packers at their home field. But then they're gonna lose to Jacksonville, lose to Chargers, lose to Titans. But then, like I said, they're going to win the Chiefs. They played the Chiefs close both times last time. They're going to get one over on them this year, I think. But then they're going to lose to the Colts. They're going to lose to the Browns. Have their bye week, lose to the Vikings. I'm going to have them beat the Bills. And they're going to have that Chargers upset. But then they're going to lose at Houston, lose at Kansas City. And they're going to beat the Lions and beat the Raiders for the last 2 games. But yeah, that 6-10. I'm even being a little generous too. I don't know if you guys are gonna agree with the Green Bay win I have them having. Maybe not even the Buffalo or Detroit win. Broncos aren't looking like the best team this season. So, yeah, not too much there. Definitely not playoffs or any kind of division. So, yeah, that's how I have the Broncos going. So, probably disappointing year for them. But, yeah, definitely tough teams on their schedule, though. So yeah, that is my AFC West predictions. I do have the Chargers coming out on top this year at 11-5, and I have the Chiefs right behind them at 10-6, and then the bottom two teams being in third place the Broncos at 6-10, and then fourth place the Raiders, who are still rebuilding, at 3-13. So not too stacked like the previous two divisions were. There's not too much competition, only between really two teams. I mean, there's big competition between two teams, but the other two teams, it's like, yeah, nah, it's not looking good for them. But yeah, so I have the Chargers definitely going to the playoffs, and the Chiefs making a pretty good case for themselves for going to the playoffs at 10-6, maybe as a wild card. Probably as a wild card, but like I said, just have to wait and see how that all fizzles out by the end of these predictions after I do all the divisions, and then I'll do the playoff and Super Bowl. So yeah, that was the AFC West predictions. Next time we're going to be doing the AFC East and finishing off the AFC. But for now, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like or dislike, subscribe or don't subscribe. No, so it's up to you. And I'll see you guys in the next video you watch of me. Goodbye.